If you're somebody who not only wants to lose more weight than ever before, but also keep the weight off forever heading into 2025, then in this video, I'm gonna give you my 6 proven strategies I have used with thousands of clients that you can steal and take with you to make 2025 the year that you actually achieve your goals forever. My first strategy is stop eating less food. And you might be thinking, Eric, what are you talking about? I thought I had to eat less food. I thought I had to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. And this is correct. You need to be in a calorie deficit in 2025 and 2027 and every single other year in order to lose body fat. Yes, but eating less calories doesn't always mean eating less food. And the general recommendation for most people when they're trying to lose weight is, oh, just decrease your portion size. I'm here to tell you that's a little bit of bullshit, and here's why. Sure, you could simply decrease the portion size of what you're eating, but that usually just leaves you starving. So instead, there is something called volume eating. And this strategy is you actually get to eat more food volume for either the same or sometimes less amount of calories, and let me show you what I mean. Let's say for breakfast, for example, you are having 4 whole eggs. And again, let's say the recommendation is, oh, just decrease your portion size. So you go down to 2 eggs. Yeah, that might have you eat less calories, but you're also going to be starving because anybody who's ever eaten just 2 eggs does fuck all for me or anybody else. Instead, here's what you could do, which is volume eating. You could do 2 whole eggs, so you can still get the egg yolk. There's nothing wrong with egg yolk. I've eaten plenty of egg yolks in my day. They're fine. But when we're talking about eating more food and eating less calories, you do 2 whole eggs, and let's say you do 4 egg whites. This way, if you remove the egg yolk, you're still getting the protein without getting all the extra calories from the egg yolk. And then let's say you throw in some spinach and peppers, and then you throw in a little bit of potatoes as well. For 4 whole eggs, depending on what size egg you get, it's gonna be somewhere around 320-ish calories. For 2 whole eggs, 4 egg whites, spinach, peppers, and a little bit of potatoes, you could very well eat roughly the same amount of calories, but for so much more food volume. The food that is actually going into your stomach is more. This is going to help you stay more full, which means over the course of the day, you are going to consume less calories being in that calorie deficit that we talked about. Versus if you just did this and decreased your portion size, you're not gonna be as full. You are gonna be hungrier throughout the day, and it's gonna be harder to stick to your diet. Try to include a lot of these low calorie, high volume foods into your daily diet. Here's a list of some of just my favorite high volume foods. You can also use the Google machine. It'll probably tell you a lot of low calorie, high volume foods that you can add as well. Second strategy, talking about should we be really focusing on exercising or not to lose weight? Because there's been some people talking recently. Not everybody should have access to the internet and a microphone, but there's been some people recently talking about exercise might not be that big of a deal for weight loss. It honestly makes me want to punch myself in the nuts, but I won't do that. Let me explain why we should be focusing on exercise, and specifically a specific form of exercise if we want to lose weight and maintain it. Here is how your body burns calories in a given day. Very quickly, 70% of your daily calorie burn comes from something called your BMR, which just means like if you laid in bed all day and did nothing, your body would burn 70% of the calories you would need to stay alive for that day. The next part of it is something called NEAT, which we'll talk about in a second. The next part of it is something called TEF. This means how many calories your body burns digesting food. And the final part of it is your EAT, exercise, activity, thermogenesis. This is the part of your daily calorie burn. So when you go and do your strength training workout or your cardio workout or whatever it is, that is the daily calorie burn. It's the smallest part of your daily calorie burn, believe it or not. This is why sometimes people will say exercise doesn't really help you lose weight. But if we focus on a specific form of exercise, which is going to fall back in here under the NEAT category. NEAT just means your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. All that means is all of the movement that you do throughout the day that is not a dedicated workout. So not a strength training workout, not the class you go to, whatever the case may be. This takes up roughly 15% of how many calories your body burns in a given day. So I think that would probably be helpful for losing and maintaining weight loss. So what's the best way to increase your NEAT? It's actually quite simple, and it's something that most people know but just aren't doing enough of, and that is going to be walking. Getting more daily steps is going to be an absolute game changer for your weight loss journey. And remember, this doesn't just have to be like going outside and getting a 30 or a 60-minute walk. This can be parking farther away at your job, parking farther away at the grocery store, taking an extra lap or two in the grocery store, taking the stairs instead of the elevator or escalator. Just if you're able-bodied, anytime you can use your legs to get up and walk more. Because studies have shown not only to lose weight, but to maintain one's weight loss. Those people who walked more during their day were able to do both of those things. And it probably comes back to the reason it takes up 15% of your daily calorie burn. So if you increase this, your chances of losing weight and maintaining that weight loss skyrocket. And again, remember, it does not have to be, oh, I gotta go outside and get a 30 or a 60-minute walk. Even only a 5 or a 10-minute walk throughout the day can add up. If you did a 10-minute walk 3-4 times a day, that's 30 or 40 minutes of extra walking you weren't currently doing. So walk more. Now, the third strategy is going to be weighing yourself, and in this specific strategy, the frequency of weighing yourself. And you might hear some people tell you to weigh yourself every day. Some people might tell you weighing yourself every single day is insane. You should never do that. It's bad for you, and you should only weigh once a week. Some people will say, don't weigh once a week or every day. Never weigh yourself because you'll go insane and it doesn't matter. Here's the strategy I would encourage you to use, and you can take it for what it's worth. Myself, all of our clients, and the data in science tells us that those people who weigh themselves every day are more likely to, again, not only lose weight, but maintain the weight loss, and there are a couple of reasons for this. The first reason being, what gets tracked gets improved upon. So if you are tracking your calories every single day, you're usually going to improve your calories. If you're tracking your strength training workouts, if you're tracking your mile time, if you're tracking your finances, if you're tracking something more frequently, you are going to improve it. So this is one reason why weighing yourself every day can improve your weight. Number two, it just keeps you more accountable. Now, I know some people will say, well, Eric, when the scale goes up, it freaks me out. I understand, but here's what I would say. Number one, you should probably watch the other videos on my channel because I talk about weight fluctuations, why your scale spikes up, scale fluctuations, and you have to understand it's normal for your scale to spike up. It's normal for you not to lose weight in a week. Even if you're perfect, even if you're on a calorie deficit, those things are normal. You're never going to get around that. So simply having the knowledge equipped in yourself to look at your body weight as just data, because that's truly what it is. You're weighing yourself, you're getting the data point, and you're moving on with your day. When it goes up, it doesn't mean you ruin your progress, and even when it goes down in a day, it doesn't mean you should also freak out. Like, it's just a data point. Think of it like this. If you were looking at data to figure out like what's going on, would you rather have 4 data points in a month? That you'd be like, well, this one was up, this one was down, this one was up, this one was down. What am I actually doing? Well, would you rather have 4 data points, no data points, or 31 data points in a month to understand where your weight is trending? Because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the overall trend of your weight. I don't care what you weighed on Tuesday versus Friday. I don't even care what you weighed today from 2 weeks from now. But like from today until this time next month, where are you at? The trend, what was the trend like? And the more data you have, the better you will be able to track that and improve your weight. And then also, again, after you lose the weight, you will be able to maintain that weight loss better for a couple of reasons. One of which, again, you're holding yourself accountable every single day by weighing yourself, understanding that it's going to fluctuate a little bit, understanding that your scale spiking up is okay. And then number two, you can also see, because this does happen to all of us sometimes, myself included, if you start to get a little bit too lax, or you're not getting your walks in or your workouts in, or maybe you just got back from a vacation, just seeing that, okay, maybe my weight is getting a bit higher than I would like it to, I'm gonna reel back in my diet. I'm gonna make sure I get my walks in again, get my workouts in again. It just holds you accountable. And again, the research shows those people who maintain their weight loss weigh themselves every day. So take that for what it's worth. The fourth strategy is something you may have heard before, but it's worth mentioning again. Protein, protein, protein. Say that 3 times in the mirror and you will turn into a chicken breast. Protein is such an important key, again, if you're looking to not only lose weight, but keep it off forever, because number one, it is going to help increase your metabolism and burn more calories. What we talked about earlier in the video where we showed the daily calorie burn, protein increases your thermic effect of food, which is how your body digests food. Protein has the highest thermic effect of food, so you will be able to increase your metabolism. Good for weight loss and maintaining weight loss. And then number two, protein is the most satiating macronutrient. This means it's gonna keep you more full for a longer period of time. I promise you, if you start from where you're at right now to hitting your protein goal every single day, and we'll talk about what your protein goal should be, but if you do that, watch how much less cravings you have, how much less hunger you have, how much less you think about food. Honestly, I know a lot of times people are like, oh my God, all day I'm thinking about food. If you're hitting your protein goal consistently, you're gonna think about food way less. You're gonna have more stable energy throughout the day as well. You won't have these you're really going up and then you have a big crash in energy. So protein, super important. How much protein should you be eating? It depends on you, your current body weight, things of that nature. I will say, if you want to know, I have a free calorie and macro calculator in the description of this video. So if you just go to the description, enter your information, it will send you what your calories should be, what your protein should be, all carbs, fats, everything. So check that out below for how much you need to eat. And then again, just giving some quick examples of my favorite protein sources. Here's just a really quick list of the proteins I eat every single day. You can screenshot this if you'd like, or I also have a video on how to increase your protein intake. I'll put that in the description of this video as well. Number 5 is gonna be lift weights, get jacked. And I'm kidding, kind of. You don't have to get jacked. And seriously, you don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to work out 5, 6, 7 days a week for an hour plus at a period of time. You don't even have to love lifting weights or like it. Although I will say, I've never met anybody who starts lifting weights and then sees themselves getting stronger, building muscle, showing up consistently, and doesn't like that aspect of it. Not everybody loves to lift weights, but you probably will love how you look, how you feel, the self-confidence you gain, all those sort of things. So, but not only from that reason. If you're wondering what plan to follow, you're like, Eric, I have no clue. Again, in the description of this video, there will be a link for a free workout program. So if you want to grab that, you can. But then number 2, from a weight loss and a fat loss perspective, number 1, going back to, again, how your body burns calories in a day. Remember that I said 70% of your calorie burn comes from your BMR. The number 1 thing you can do to positively impact and speed up your BMR is by adding lean muscle mass. And again, this is good for not only losing the weight, but then maintaining the weight loss. Because if you build 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle over the course of a couple of years, your maintenance calories, how many calories your body needs to maintain its weight, will go up, which means you can eat more food without gaining weight. because your maintenance calories are higher. So there's a great reason why, again, not just for the current weight loss, but for maintaining the weight loss, being able to lift weights and build muscle is crucial. And then on top of that, when you are consistently lifting weights, being in the routine, eating high protein, this is gonna sound kind of foo-foo, but it's true, you just become a person who's in shape. And when you think of yourself as a person who's healthy, in shape, works out, that impacts other areas of your life. While yes, you might not burn a ton of calories in the specific strength training workout, but if you consistently do this, you're somebody who, you're gonna stick to your diet and eat good protein and eat healthy food. You're gonna get your sleep, you're gonna get your steps, your walks in, because you're somebody who's in shape. You're somebody who lifts weights. You're somebody who works out. You change your identity. That person that you're looking at right now where you're like, God, I wish I could just be them, that in shape person. They think of themselves as an in shape person, and you need to think of yourself as an in shape person. Change your identity, because that's how you actually create real change on the outside. Lifting weights can help do that for you. And the sixth strategy is something that most people do wrong, so please don't do this heading into 2025. Please, I'm begging you, do not try to start a diet and cut out all of your favorite foods. Do not try to cut out all the bad foods. Don't try to cut out all the junk food, for a couple of reasons. Number one, you quite literally just don't have to. We talked earlier about, for you to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. You can eat Rice Krispies in a calorie deficit. You can eat some cookies in a calorie deficit. You can eat whatever food that you would like in a calorie deficit, and you will still lose weight. Now, am I telling you to go, eat McDonald's and Sour Patch Kids and Rice Krispies all day for every single one of your foods? No. Of course, you should be trying to prioritize whole foods. You should be trying to get minimally processed, nutrient-dense, one-ingredient foods. Of course, try to make the majority of your diet that. But if, let's say, during your day, you have a nighttime snack of 300 calories and it fits within your calories and you really enjoy it, have it. Or if, let's say, maybe you're going out to eat on the weekend and you really want to try a dessert or an appetizer or whatever it is, and it fits within your calories, have it. Most people try to cut out all of their favorite foods or not eat the bad foods because, number one, they think they can't have them to lose weight. Like I said, not true. Number two, they think if they cut these foods out, they'll lose weight quicker, which again, I don't want you going into 2025 thinking that you need to lose weight as quickly as possible. You've probably already done that before, and how has it worked for you? Probably not that good. It's not about losing weight as quickly as possible. It's about knowing every pound that you lose, you're doing it in a sustainable way so you can keep those pounds off. What is the point of losing 15 pounds in January if you're just going to gain all of it back and then some in March? Do you really believe that for the rest of your life, you are going to be able to cut out your favorite foods and cut out all junk food and never eat any minimally processed foods and still maintain that? And you might be saying, well, Eric, I'll just do that for a short period of time and I'll lose the weight and I'll go back to eating the way I normally do. You're going to go back to gaining the weight like you normally do. However you lose the weight is how you're going to keep the weight off. And so I'm begging you, do not be one of these people who only eats clean, only eats healthy. Sure, like I said, try to incorporate more healthy foods. Try to incorporate more protein, more high volume foods. But all those things that we talked about is adding stuff in. It's not restricting yourself. And that's a different topic and a different conversation. But when you're so focused on restricting and taking away and not having it, you just end up wanting it more. This is why for a couple of days you cut these things out, or a couple of weeks if you're lucky, and then what happens? You end up binge eating and overeating on them because you're restricting. It's not going to work. So please, do not try to do that. Still incorporate your favorite foods in moderation within your calories, and you will be able to lose weight, I promise. And last, I actually have one quick bonus one for you is get some sort of accountability heading into 2025. This could be a challenge with your coworkers. This could be telling your spouse or your partner or your family. This could be posting on social media. This could be hiring a coach and joining a community. Whatever it is, there is actual scientific research studies done to show when you have external accountability, your progress and your results increase by 60+%. Now think about that. Again, think about it logically. If you are just doing this by yourself, it's very easy to slack off. It's very easy to lie to yourself. It's very easy to say, oh, it's just one night, who cares? It's just one weekend, who cares? It's just 1 week, it's just 1 month, and then eventually you end up making no progress. So do not try to do this by yourself heading into 2025. Get some extra accountability. And if you want some extra accountability, this is quite literally what myself and my team do for a living. So click the link in the description of this video down below if you're interested in coaching and getting some accountability, guidance, and having all the guesswork taken out for you in your journey.